Look, all I ever really wanted was to pave a way for Manny. Not to grow up like I did. I wasn't trying to get no Grammy. Wasn't trying to put the tears on the face of mom and granny, but I did doing that bid. Now I came home without a family. That shit crazy. Like they saying nowadays without the ZY. They told me cherish every day when I was out here, now I see why. I got way too complacent, got caught slipping by a CI. But really it changed my life for the better. You gon' see I am everything they aim to be. Life don't look the same to me. The glasses that they sell had me looking through is changing me. Family is fame to me. A good bitch is arranged to me. A house key and a whip is like a record label chain to me. I never thought it'd be this way. I never thought I'd see the day I'd be the state's property. They locked me, throw the key away, but they ain't throw the key away. I'm coming home. I need a day to wrap my head around to being free again. I see a way to benefit. This prison shit done really got my mind right. Set me in that closet by myself out of that limelight. I see it clear. You know it's 2020 when it's hindsight. I'm growing like a tree. I guess I blossom when the time right.
All right, so we're back. Chad Arms TV, CO Cakes, Finally Free series. We're back at it. It's going to be part 3 of the series. We're going to talk about just a few different things. We've been getting a lot of questions, and a lot of people have been asking about, I guess, the legal situation that you kind of briefly spoke about in the other 2.
Right.
They just kind of, I guess, want to know a little bit more about that, and as far as all that goes. So if you want to talk about that.
Right. I mean, so anybody knows before, like back before I went, of course I was heavy in the music and shit, but I was also really heavy in the streets though. Like I was really doing all that shit I was rapping about. February 8, 2011, I had got popped, and one of my guys had turned informant on me, and he wore a wire on me and bought coke off of me 3 different times. The 4th time they popped me, took me to the house, kicked the door in, found more shit at the house, locked me up. I was locked up for the dope case. 9 felonies on the dope case, and stayed in jail long enough to get my bond reduced my bond, bonded out, and was on the streets fighting my case from the streets for like 11 months. I had bonded out like May 2011. April 2nd, once I caught my dope case, February 8th, 2011. I went to court June of 2011. Richard McGee and Bobby Ballinger was my lawyers. Them folks offered me 25 years and pretty much told me, ain't gonna be no papers, you're gonna do TDOC time. And like my whole life went into a downward spiral. I knew I was finna lose everything. Everybody knows, like, my son is my best friend. Like, the first 5.5 years of his life, I didn't work. Like, all I did was sell dope and do music. So I spent every day with him, and I knew I was finna lose him and I was finna do some real time. And I got to popping pills real heavy, got on that coke. I'm eating bars, like I'm robbing folks, I'm laying shit down. Like I was out here like, fuck it, like I ain't had nothing to lose. I knew my life was over with. So April 2nd, 2000, a lot of people see me on the news and shit for this, and they think that's where my time came from. But I was on bond for the dope case when April 2nd, I was on them bars and walked into the pharmacy. Into Kmart and went to the pharmacy. I don't remember none of it. I was on them bars, but I know it happened. I believe it because I know my situation at the time. But the lady testified, and I seen on camera that I walked up to the counter, raised my shirt up, and attempted to rob the pharmacy. And she says she claimed that she didn't have what I was looking for, which was Roxy's, which that's what I was popping at the time. I ain't gonna lie, I was on them pills bad at the time. I struggled with that shit before I went. And she said she didn't have them. I made the lady follow me to the exit of the Kmart or whatever, and took off and got popped later on, still in the same clothes. It's broad daylight. Still, 3 hours later, I get popped in the same car, same pistol, same clothes on. Like, my mind wasn't right. I was all the way gone. So that's when I got locked up, and I stayed in jail from then because they revoked my dope charge bond, of course, and they wouldn't let me back out. So I could have beat the robbery charge because the lady, when she testified some wrong shit, and the camera behind her wasn't working, so the only camera that was working was behind me. I could have beat the case. They ain't had nothing on me with the case, really, because I had a permit to carry my gun, but I was on bond for my dope case at the time. So my lawyer told me, if we try to take the robbery to trial, they gonna hang you on the dope case because they know we're gonna beat it. So I had to give them that conviction, and it got dropped down to attempted simple robbery, and they dropped the aggravated kidnapping. But I had to plead to it as part of my dope case. I ended up getting 8 years for my dope case, and only two on the robbery. So I was gone all that time for the dope case. Like, the robbery been over with since 2014. But I got majority of my time for the dope case. But that's how everything happened though. Like a lot of people seen the clips on the news. I ain't gonna lie, like I was struggling with addiction at the time, and it was a desperate move, you feel me? But like that ain't where all my time came from though. Like I was really out here in the streets. I would like, you can pull my background. Like I was really out here, you feel me? Like dude wore a wire on me and bought almost a 9-piece out of me on the wire, and then I bonded out and then caught the Kmart shit. But the Kmart shit's not where all my time originally came from. But I mean, that's the story on that. I know a lot of people seen it on the news and they painted me out to be a monster on the news and all that. But at the time, I was struggling with addiction like a lot of people are. But for people to judge me by that single incident ain't straight though, because I've overcame that. I did my time for that. I overcame all that, and I've overcome addiction. Like, it's people that make silly ass comments and shit about that shit and say silly ass shit about that, but it could be you or somebody you kin to real quick. Like, be humble. When I left and since I came home, like that heroin taking everybody, you feel me? And them pills I was popping was the next best thing. Like, I left before heroin hit the city, but that addiction ain't nothing to play with. Like, you don't judge nobody by the addiction. I don't judge nobody by their past. Judge me for what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do right now.
Right, because anybody, I mean, all of us have something that we're not proud of, whatever it is. And
Most definitely.
Anybody that judges you for that could look themselves in the mirror and say, well, I just fucked up shit too. But most people aren't wanting to do that. Most people don't want to look at other people and judge them for what they did 10 years ago.
Right.
This is 10 years ago.
Like, I did my time behind that, you feel me? I've overcome all that. Like, I'm trying to do better things, bigger things. Like, don't judge me for that, you feel me? Like, judge me by what I'm doing right now, what I'm trying to do.